Hello and welcome to another video. This is Voorhees Retro 81 and I just thought I'd pop this together while I'm still in the situation of my mic not behaving itself. Got quite a big response to the last vid about the Game Boy Color, so I thought I would, as I've not got like some sprawling collection for the Game Boy Color that I'd struggle to fit in or anything like that. I thought I'd just go through what I've got that I'm building on. So this is the transparent Game Boy Color only cartridges, and I think I'll probably do another video for the like dual format sort of black plastic cartridges. So without further ado, as there's a bit to get through, and as you know, I have a tendency to natter. So first out the gate, we've got Catwoman. This is quite a cool sort of puzzle platformer. It can be quite difficult. It's got very good graphics though, and it's nice to see a Batman game that's a bit different, and you know, where you're not Batman. So, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd say it definitely stands up with the other Batman games on the Game Boy. I've got Batman the movie and Batman Revenge of the Joker, I think that's what it's called. I can't remember because honestly on the Game Boy it's not very good. I know it's got quite a good rep on the NES, but I'm not really a big fan of the Game Boy copy, so I don't play it a lot. So I can't remember what it's called. But Batman 2 anyway on the Game Boy original. And then we've got Portal Runner. This is part of the Army Men series. This is a really fun sort of collect 'em up type of thing. It's quite challenging. Again, decent graphics, really nice animation, pretty fun title, and worth picking up if you can find a copy. I don't know if this was universally released. My copy is American. Again, Catwoman is it's PAL. I don't know if it's UK PAL. I should have looked. But yeah, this is a US cart. Although I got this in the UK. So most of the things that I've got that are NTSC, such as the Game Boy has NTSC. Obviously, it's multi-region by nature. Most of them have got UK anyway. So yeah, Portal Runner, fun game, worth checking out. Very difficult to read this, but this is Return of the Ninja. This is quite a deep sort of game, that is. It's sort of an unofficial sequel to Shadow of the Ninja, I want to say, by Natsumi. And this is by Natsumi again. It's much better than Shadow of the Ninja. I never really got on with Shadow of the Ninja. I do have it. I got it on like the Virtual Console on the 3DS, but it kind of always feels like a poor man's mashup of Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden to me. Where that is like its own game and plays really well. I haven't got deep into that game because the levels are quite long, and it's not a game where it's obvious where you're supposed to go. It's kind of more adventure-y, and kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you played Legend of Cage, but it quite reminded me of that. It has the really big jump from Legend of Cage. I felt it was quite similar to that. So this is the European copy of Ready to Rumble Boxing. Love Ready to Rumble Boxing on all formats, and this is no different. I say it's the European copy because I believe the American copy was one of those expanded cartridges that had the Rumble pack. I have one of those, which I'll show in the other video, just for time's sake. But I'm kind of glad I've got the non-Rumble copy, because obviously those Rumble cartridges take up more batteries, but also it's kind of irritating, and I'm always a bit worried with old tech like that it's going to shake itself apart if you've got, you know, something grinding away in it. But yeah, great side one-on-one, side-to-side beat 'em up. A lot of fun. Um, and yeah, worth picking up if you like Ready to Rumble boxing on other systems. This is a no-brainer, I'd say. Now, this is Ultimate Fighting Championship. The reason I laugh is because this is world renowned as being a terrible game. I don't think it's bad at all, but I like Pit Fighter, so that might put a kind of awareness of how forgiving I am of games and their crappiness, especially when it comes to fighters. I'm liable to give a bad fighter or a bad shooter more credence than it's worth. But the reason this is a really big game for me is this, Killer Instinct, and Mortal Kombat and Wave Race were the only games I had to play for a year when I first moved out of my parents' house and I went to college down in Wales. I had my Game Boy Color, a CD player, some punk rock CDs like a few Rancid, Green Day, and NoFX CDs. I had Ultimate Fighting Championship, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, Metroid 2, and Wave Race, and that was it. That was the only console I had with me. That was the only way I could game. So played this inside out. I can still roughly like 1cc the whole tournament without losing it. It's not that difficult because you can just beat the whole game by holding forward and pushing punch pretty much. But yeah, really like this game, even though it gets a bashing. Do quite enjoy it, and it's not going to break the bank for you to get a hold of it because everybody thinks it's crap. So it's worth a punt. Speaking of games that aren't so great, Robin Hood. I think I mentioned this in light of Armor Rings in the previous vid earlier on in the weekend. This is potentially a good game, but it's let down by the fact that they really didn't consider the fact that, like, the visuals of the Game Boy Color, and it's so easy to die over and over again to things that you couldn't see. And I think, honestly, even if you had it playing on, like, a Game Boy GameCube adapter or a Super Game Boy or whatever, you would still have the problem because it's just quite poorly designed. It's pretty much a case of ambitious but rubbish, really. It's like a bit of a hybrid of, if you're old enough to remember, Into the Eagle's Nest. It's like a bit of a cross between that and a Zelda kind of concept. And it's a good idea, and technically it's a really impressive game, aside from the fact that they didn't pick very good colours for the graphics in terms of visibility. But the way it plays like a dog. And I didn't pay a lot for this, but I felt a bit like I bought a lemon even so. So yeah, I would avoid this one if you see it coming your way. From the ridiculous to the sublime, we have Zelda Oracle of Seasons with a working battery. Oh yeah. It'll be funny. It's funny how certain things can make your day. But yeah, there's not a lot I can say about Zelda that hasn't already been said, and I will say that I'm not a huge Zelda guy, but I do like the Game Boy games a great deal. I never really got on with the SNES Zelda and the NES Zelda. Did quite like Ocarina of Time when I had an N64 way back in the dawns of time. But yeah, the Game Boy Zeldas are quality, get on really well with them, and this is no different. Great game, worth picking up. Starting to get a bit risky picking one up at the moment, especially as it's battery game, so you're never going to know whether the battery's going to work or not unless somebody's already swapped it out and put it in the listing. But yeah, quality. Second favourite of the Zeldas. Again, not a series that I'm super into, but I do like a bit of Zelda, and this is a great one. What to go with penultimately? Alright, we're going to go with Sabrina the Teenage Witch Zapped. I know cartoon games get a duff rap, and honestly, I picked this up purely because it was a Game Boy Color game, and it was affordable, and I was like, I've not played that one, and I looked at screenshots, and it looked pretty cool, and it is really cool. It's somewhat like, it's a bit kind of Ghostbusters-y in that like you have to kind of like do spells on enemies before you can like, and the enemies are people you need to save, so you have to do a spell on them. And actually, this is a way forward game, them of Shantae and every new 2D indie game known to man practically these days. River City Girls, Double Dragon Neon, etc. fame, and it's you won't break the bank on this one, which is nice because like most of the stuff that's been exposed to the mainstream as oh this is a way forward game is silly money now. But yeah, this is really good fun. Played it a fair bit. It doesn't have a, if I remember correctly, I don't think it has like a password system or a save, so I haven't got as far into it as I have got into some other games on this stack because basically I'm starting from the start all the time. Yeah, top fun game, and there's another game that I'm hopefully going to manage to scoop up at some point in the series. So yeah, definitely recommend that if you see it around. Finally, in the transparent carts, we have the Mighty Battle Tanks. So this is kind of like a halfway house between Midway's with Indicators and Grand Theft Auto, the original Grand Theft Auto. So it's a top-down tank shooter. It's got proper 8-way controls instead of daft tank controls, if I remember correctly. I might be lying there. I can't remember. But for a tank game, it controls really well anyway. There's no kind of sim-based nonsense. And it's got nice big maps, great music, good graphics, fun gameplay. I really enjoyed this, and it was a really nice surprise when I picked it up because all I really knew about it was a 3DO game, and I love the 3DO. I love the 3DO company. I do miss them. I wish I had a 3DO, but I don't. But you know, I love games like the, like the Might and Magic series, Army Man, etc. And I think they were an underrated company in my eyes. And Battle Tanks is a great example of something that thinks about what you can do with the Game Boy Color and does it really, really well. It's a fab top-down shooter. It's got a password system, so you start up from wherever you got to. Yeah, just a really great game. So another one that's well worth checking out if you haven't got it. Do love this one a lot and play it regularly. So far, that's my. Obviously, I haven't put Armorines and Crazy Bikers into the collection because I talked about them the other day. So yeah, so that's the transparent Game Boy Color exclusive carts so far. Obviously, as I said, I'll update with pickup chats. This is going to be the system that I'm probably going to be focusing on for the next year or so. Certainly while I'm in this place before any kind of moving happens, because spaces are very much premium. See up there, there's a stack of model kits about ready to bean me if I so much as take the wrong shirt out of my wardrobe. Yeah, so lovely to speak to you all, and again, thanks to everybody who's subbed up recently. It's been lovely chatting to all of you, and yeah, take care of yourselves. Have a lovely weekend, what is left of it, and I'll speak to you all soon. Much love, peace out.